Good morning, girls and boys. Today I have a story for you, and it's for children aged 3 to 103. Hundreds of miles out in the Atlantic, there is a tiny island so small that it is not to be found on any map. On this island there lived a frog all alone. There was no other form of life at all to keep him company. Fortunately for the frog, a couple of migratory geese landed on the island once a year to rest a while on their long journey. The frog looked forward with great anticipation to these visits. He enjoyed their company and loved listening to their descriptions of the different countries over which they flew. "How I wish I could come with you," he would often sigh. "You have no idea what it is like being stranded here." The geese would sympathize with him and wish that there was something they could do to help, but there was nothing they could think of. One morning, after a particularly wild storm, the frog happened to be hopping along the narrow stretch of sand which skirted the island when he found a piece of string left behind by the tide. As he looked at the string, an idea began to take shape in his mind. He became very excited because the idea was so simple it just had to work. He carefully dragged the piece of string up to a safe place and patiently settled down to await the arrival of the geese. The weeks seemed to drag by, but at long last the geese arrived. After the preliminary greetings were over, the frog outlined his plan to them. "If each of you takes an end of this string in his beak, I can hold on to the middle part by my mouth, and between you, you can carry me to the mainland." The geese examined the piece of string and agreed to give the plan a trial, and after a few practice runs, the plan worked perfectly. Eventually, they left the island and headed into the wind. After many hours' flight, the mainland appeared in the distance, and soon they were flying over fields and trees, valleys and hills. The frog was completely enchanted by the beauty of all that he saw. The geese flew lower and lower so that the frog could have a closer view, and they passed over people working in the fields and going about their tasks. When these people looked up and saw the amazing sight of two geese carrying a frog suspended between them, they could hardly believe their eyes. "What a brilliant idea," said one man. "And who was the genius who thought out that method of carrying someone?" said another. The frog, when he heard all this praise, couldn't resist the temptation of answering back. He pointed at himself and shouted, "It was my idea! I am the genius who thought out this plan!" But alas, when he opened his mouth, he plunged to his fate below. Have a good day, everyone.